I was playing chase with my children, lost my footing, fell headfirst towards a curb, twisted, my shoulder hit it. Basically trashed the shoulder, and I was like that for the best part of 20 years until I came here to the university, and they sorted me out very, very nicely.
So we met Paul during a MOCAT study that we started around 2011. And so Paul, like many others, was really struggling when he elevated his arm up. So things like putting something on a high shelf, or even in Paul's case, picking up a tea bag was quite painful, where his shoulder over time had picked up some bad habits in terms of how it moved.
So my involvement in the study and with Paul is I was focusing on the movement analysis part of it and measuring of the muscle activity. So what we do is we attach markers to the body and we measure the movement of those markers using cameras. Now, one of the tricky parts is with the scapula is that it glides around underneath the skin, so it's really tricky to measure its movement. So I developed a method of being able to track the movement of the scapula and validated that so that we could then assess the muscle activity as the muscles contract.
Paul had something called impingement, so his shoulder blade wasn't moving the way it should. And we could then provide some really specific exercises for Paul, both in terms of correcting his posture, but also getting those muscles to fire in the right way. And obviously over the last 10 years, he's made amazing progress.
Soon after I started this intervention, the friend that I'd done some personal training for, she said, come along to my pole fitness class. So I thought, sounds like fun. I went along, it was really good exercise. They said, you've got to come back. So I did. And after a couple of years, I started teaching and I started doing some competitions, and it sort of gradually progressed from there. I suddenly found out I was a world champion. So I thought, wow, how did that happen? And of course it goes back to all the work that was done at the university to sort my shoulder out, to let me sort of move on to bigger and better things.
It's always amazing to kind of see these kind of what's happened after the study's finished, because obviously we collect lots of data, we might then see lots of numbers on spreadsheets and things like that, but actually to see the impact that it's actually had on someone's life is great. It kind of gives you a sense of achievement that you've played some small part into something much greater that Paul's been able to achieve.
So world record holder at his pole sport, doing single arm handstands that we never would have dreamt of 12 years ago. Paul has made exceptional progress.
I'm one of the successes of the university's medical research lot, in that they have taken me from being an old wreck with a trash shoulder to far greater things. It's totally transformed my life, all the great work that they've done.